Hello, you're on VITV with Into Vietnam. In the next 15 minutes, we'll be updated on business events around the country and in the highlights. National Assembly members questions ministers on hydroelectric power plants, public investments, and downgrading social morality, particularly on healthcare sector. The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development will source foreign partners for agricultural development strategy till 2030. Grant Thornton Vietnam released a private equity report indicating positive sentiment towards Vietnam economy is coming back. On November the 19th, Vietnam's 13th National Assembly questions directly ministers at the 6th session. Highlighted issues are recent floods caused by hydroelectric power plants discharging water in the storm season, public investments, and downgrading social morality, particularly on healthcare sector. The question is estimated to last for 2 days, from the 19th to the 21st of November.
After listening to Deputy Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan Phúc report on the National Assembly resolutions implementation, Member Nguyễn Thái Học from Phú Yên said the majority of the province's voters highly agree with the term in the report. It indicates a positive movement in the guidance of the government and ministries in collecting voters' opinions and the serious implementations. However, the representative says there were many unsolved problems, especially those related to the poor, such as the recent floods caused by hydroelectric power plants discharging water in the storm season. In terms of public investment, National Assembly member Đỗ Bình Đường from Hanoi said there are many questions left unaddressed for over a year related to weaknesses in the investments and land acquisition. Being questioned on downgrading social morality, particularly on healthcare sector, Minister of Healthcare Nguyễn Thị Kim Tiến admitted the ministry is responsible for the recent cases in the sector. She says the ministry had provided solutions such as setting up hotlines available for people's feedbacks nationwide and training courses on practices and behavior for doctors, nurses, and physicians.
According to a draft agricultural development strategy till 2030 compiled by the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Vietnam has decided to boost international cooperation to develop the agricultural sector as part of plans to guarantee national food security, create jobs, and raise living standards.
International cooperation is considered a key solution in developing the agriculture sector, particularly cooperation on human resources training and science and technology development. The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development will also draft a strategy to attract and use official development assistance in prioritized sectors, creating favorable conditions for foreign direct investment or FDI in the sector. Vietnam will accordingly prioritize the development of 10 projects by 2020, including developing vegetable and flower cultivation, as well as focusing on cultivation of corn, cassava, tea, rice for export, sugarcane, fruit, mushrooms, cashew nuts, and coffee beans. In order to boost production, producers will be incentivized by a number of tax cuts. The farmland use tax is one in line for reduction, while the Vietnamese government also hopes to amend legal regulations to give enterprises and farmers easy access to bank loans. Under the new strategy during 2014-2020, the agriculture sector hopes to achieve annual growth of 2.5% in production, $20 billion in export turnover, by yielding $7,142 per hectare of cultivable land.
The Finance Ministry has issued Circular Number 158 guiding financial supervision and evaluation on operation effectiveness of state-owned and state-funded enterprises, in which there are 6 targets on evaluating operation effectiveness of these enterprises. The first one is revenue and other incomes. Secondly, realized profit margins made on equity. Overdue debt and solvency is the third target. Fourthly, execution of laws and policies. The fifth target is the implementation of public products and services. And finally, the combination of the first 5 targets but eliminating the influence of these factors caused by force majeure by the state's policy adjustments, etc. The circular takes effect on December 28, 2013, and is applied to financial supervision and evaluation on operation effectiveness of enterprises from the fiscal year of 2013 onwards. The 10th biannual private equity report has been released recently by Grant Thornton Vietnam. The report analyzed opinions of a number of decision makers based in Vietnam or those having a significant focus on Vietnam, which indicates sentiments towards the private equity sector in Vietnam over the next 12 months.
In the survey, positive sentiment towards the economy achieved the highest response in the past 2 years at 43%, while those with a negative outlook decreased significantly to 13% of the respondents, indicating that confidence is getting its way back to PE investors. As a result, 46% of the respondents agreed that they will increase their investment allocation to Vietnam, whereas 44% of them will keep their proportions stable. Corruption continued to be considered as the most critical obstacle amongst PE investors in Vietnam, with 88% of the respondents. Ranked at the second obstacle, government red tape processes, selected by 76% of the respondents. 38% of the respondents indicate that cost of debt over the coming year will stay stable. This is a positive signal for the economic recovery in the next 12 months. Only 27% of the respondents think the cost of debt will decrease slightly in the next 12 months, while it was 77% in their last survey. The report also presents other information that concern private equity investors when investing in Vietnam, such as investment allocation, important drivers of value growth, level of hands-on involvement expectation, exit strategies, and level of exit activity.
As of November 15th, VMC has bought 17.3 trillion Vietnam dong of non-performing loans with payments valued by special bonds of 13.7 trillion Vietnam dong. 24 banks has registered with Vietnam Asset Management Company of VMC to sell debts valued at 40,000 billion Vietnam dong. VMC is currently reviewing, analyzing, sorting, filtering debts, especially in real estate sector, to continue to buy bad debts from banks. Currently, some of the bad debts have already been recovered. Regarding concerns about the purchased non-performing loans will remain the same after 5 years if the VMC can't sell them. VMC says when buying bad debts, VMC will be proactive in working out solutions to effectively resolve bad debts with participation of all involved parties. For example, VMC, banks and businesses. At the moment, VMC is preparing a plan to buy debts at market prices from 2014 and, with the support of other departments, agencies, policies, etc., have the sale and purchase of corporate debts to be more effective. According to the State Bank of Vietnam or SBV, to date, credit institutions have restructured total debts of approximately 300 trillion Vietnam dong, accounting for 10% of total outstanding loans. Through measures to restructure the repayment period, a large amount of outstanding loans stayed in the same group classification. As a result, businesses have been supported to reduce financial hardship as they don't have to pay penalty interest and to ensure conditions to continue borrowing, in which 60% of debts would have become bad debts without restructuring, translating to an increase of 6% non-performing loans without the measure. According to the SBV, the measures for self-handling non-performing loans of banks, including debt restructuring, have yielded positive and meaningful results for both businesses and banks.
Thai Zone Company is a regular customer of the Asia Commercial Bank, known as ACB, in the past 10 years, with good lending history and small amount of overdue debt. However, it has never gained access to the credit-based lending of the bank. The companies cannot make loans without any collateral. It can be seen that it's quite difficult for businesses to borrow from banks once their collateral has been used for medium and long-term loans. They cannot get access to bank funds to expand operations if their collateral does not meet lending requirements.
Chúng tôi buộc phải vay bằng tài sản thế chấp. Đã doanh nghiệp Việt Nam, tôi đến bây giờ doanh nghiệp trách nhiệm hạn hoặc công ty cổ phần, như chúng tôi là công ty cổ phần, thì đều phải có cái thế chấp bằng tài sản. Còn nếu không có thế chấp tài sản thì không cách nào vay được ngân hàng. Thời điểm bây giờ, trước đây có thể là chưa tín thì cái lượng nó không nhiều. Nhưng mà tôi cho rằng đến lúc bây giờ là gần như là tất cả phải là tài sản thế chấp với các ngân hàng cho vay. Chứ ngân hàng không thể cho vay bằng cái phương thức khác được. Chúng tôi là đến bây giờ đã 10 năm nay là chúng tôi phải vay tiền ngân hàng thì đều phải có thế chấp hết. Có thế chấp mà mặc dù là lĩnh vực ưu tiên là nông nghiệp, nhưng mà cái lãi suất cũng chưa thể về ưu tiên được, vì họ chỉ ưu tiên ở trong một cái khoảng chừng mực nhất định thôi.
This is a common problem among most businesses in Vietnam, especially small and medium-sized enterprises.
Đối với cái việc mà vay tín chấp thì đối với chúng tôi trước đây là doanh nghiệp nhà nước thì cái việc vay tín chấp nó rất là phổ biến. Thế nhưng mà sau khi mà chuyển đổi cái mô hình hoạt động thì chúng tôi rất khó khăn trong việc tiếp cận cái nguồn vốn. Mặc dù phương án sản xuất kinh doanh có, khách hàng tốt và cơ hội cải tiến rất là nhiều, thế nhưng mà để đầu tư thì thuyết phục được các ngân hàng trong lúc này rất khó khăn.
Credit-based lending has been there to stay for quite a long time, but the mode of lending is not popular in Vietnam, especially in the context where credit institutions are worried about resolving non-performing loans. But this doesn't mean credit-based lending is infeasible. A number of companies have managed to get loans, and according to them, the most important thing is to prove their capacities to banks.
Cũng rất may là Việt Á thì từ trước đến nay là đều được vay tín chấp cả, bởi vì Việt Á là một cái đơn vị cũng khá là uy tín đối với các ngân hàng, cho nên là thường thì được vay tín chấp và vay theo kiểu gọi là thế chấp bằng quyền đòi nợ. Thế và trong cái số đấy thì đương nhiên là cũng phải có một số cái tài sản thế chấp. Thì Việt Á cũng có một số tài sản, ví dụ như có tòa nhà, có nhà máy, rồi có các cái phương tiện. Cái việc thế chấp tài sản là cái để gọi là để làm tín. Còn thực tế thì là cũng đánh giá dựa trên cái chữ tín từ trước đến nay và đánh giá dựa trên cái sự điều hành hoạt động của công ty. Cho nên là các ngân hàng thì từ trước là cũng đã có cái sự ưu tiên cho Việt Á là tín chấp. Cho nên là cái đấy cũng là một cái sự thuận lợi cho Việt Á. Nhưng mà tôi nghĩ là cũng không phải đơn vị nào cũng có được những cái điều kiện thuận lợi đấy, bởi vì nhiều đơn vị thì họ cũng không có được cái điều kiện để được tín chấp.
Obviously, local lenders should consider to ratify more credit-based loans amid the current tough business environment. To smooth banks' capital outflow, businesses should develop their capital management.
Thì bản thân các ngân hàng hiện nay là kinh doanh tín dụng là chính. Các ngân hàng cũng huy động vốn để cho vay thì hiện nay cũng phải sử dụng vốn cho nó hiệu quả và an toàn. Hiện nay các ngân hàng đều sẵn sàng các cái chương trình sản phẩm tín dụng hoặc là nguồn nhân sự để đáp ứng cho các cái chương trình tài trợ tín dụng. Nhưng vấn đề mấu chốt hiện nay là các ngân hàng sẽ tìm đến cho ai vay, tài trợ như thế nào, tài trợ cho ai. Thì chúng tôi phải trả lời một câu hỏi về đấy là cái nguyên tắc của hoạt động của một tổ chức tín dụng. Đó là tài trợ vào đâu mà phải là đảm bảo thu hồi vốn đúng hạn và an toàn hiệu quả.
Businesses will gain more access to bank loans if they are able to build credibility to the lenders. The trust can only be built from their prestige, brands operations, and more importantly, from their fidelity financial reports, transparent business plan, and effective capital management.
And before we go, let's check out the updates on gold prices, forex, and stock markets. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for your attention. And now from everyone on the team, have a lovely day. Bye bye.